Push into lives. And we are a go.
Alrighty.
Live it is. Here we go. Playing us in.
Nice. Do it.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Sorry, I didn't do all the choreography there. I just realized I didn't have the show notes up. I was trying to
No
really
worries.
get them up. And it was a
We're,
little much.
we're under the gun today, so it's a quick show because we got to get her done. But yeah.
Yeah, all good. Oh, now it's telling me my low resources are going to affect performance.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well.
Bad times.
All right. How are you doing, Earl? Busy,
I'm doing
apparently?
all right. Busy as heck. I was writing the. I was. I literally had ChatGPT writing the show notes in an Uber on the way home from another meeting. So here we are.
You haven't done a remote show in a while. We've had you at that spot with the fire in the background and everything.
Oh yeah, I guess. But I got to figure out how to push buttons to make all the auto things
Oh, yeah.
happen with the background and the sound and everything. So back then we didn't necessarily have all that stuff all automated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of these days I will set up
Back
another
in the
remote
dark
show
ages.
and have all the
Dark
stuff.
ages of Earl and the Idiot.
Yeah. So, the pre AI days, which we don't talk about no more.
Oh yeah, so I guess we should intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Earl and the Idiot. You heard in the intro, we've got Earl over there. There he is,
Yeah.
and he knows everything about everything. Just try to get one past him, I dare you. And we're here to help you. Get some info. You might help you with success in your business, or even what to do once you're successful. Spoiling the plot of today's show.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm here to ask the dumb questions. We say if you don't ask the dumb questions, you don't get the smart answers.
Alrighty.
And
So
yeah, the way we like to do our show, we come up with a topic each week based on something relevant going on in our lives or business activities,
mhm.
and then we plug it into ChatGPT. And ChatGPT makes our show layout for us because it's easier and actually better. It makes a better show. And
Well,
we go
it's
over the
real honest to goodness responses, not canned BS, right?
yeah.
So I like that.
Exactly. We check on what ChatGPT says and we say if we agree or we disagree. Often we agree. It's getting better and better. Um,
I'm enjoying it more and more.
yeah, and then we try to hopefully give you some insight, personal experiences, or good examples, that kind of thing.
There you go.
So yeah, today's topic was I picked one. I actually found my business really thriving. Totally at random, three completely unrelated, um, actually four now, completely unrelated people. They don't know each other. They nothing in common. They all suddenly came to me saying they needed new websites. One guy needed
Nice.
two. And so suddenly I'm a wash in work and income. And sometimes people think they're going for that success. They're going for that success, and then a lot of things get ruined by success. Not me, of course. I'll keep rocking forever. But there's businesses where they're like succeeding like crazy, and they still go under. And you're going, what the heck happened? And it's possible to mismanage your success.
I
Would you
agree.
agree with that?
100%. I've done that, right?
Go on.
So, so we just got the license for Vancouver Fuck Up Nights. And so we're running the event in April. And I had spoken at this event prior to, right? And I started my talk with, so one day I lost $20 million. How are you doing? Right. And
Hmm.
so yeah, people, you can mess up success because part of that part of the process to reaching proper, real, actual success is through screwing up and learning, right? So and my first win, I didn't have any screw ups. It was just a perfect run all the way until it exploded, right? And so, you can do everything, just exactly perfect. But if you don't learn those, you don't earn your stripes. Man, you pay later.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I,
Like,
I think I had surveyed the entire, like, this was a movie theater full of people. I
okay,
surveyed the entire group and I added up all their screw ups, and it still didn't get to half of mine. So it's like, and this is what qualifies me to speak on the fuck up stage, right? So it's like, okay, cool. So there you go.
I guess we don't want to give away what the fuck up was all about because you're going to be doing that at the fuck up night.
Well, no, you can find me on the internet now. Like I've already had my time in the sun, so my 50 minutes of fame is up. At least on the Fuck Up Night stage. I'm going to be the MC for our event because it's our
Okay.
event. But now we have other speakers sharing their stories of woe and learning. So there you go.
Mhm.
So yes, you can screw up success, and I did spectacularly. So
Yeah, there's just an example going right now. My I really like Rivian cars.
yes,
Yeah, have you tried driving one yet?
yeah, they're cool.
You got in one? You drove them around?
They're more comfortable than a Tesla. I'm sorry, Elon, but like, yeah, they're more well. I think they're more well built. The problem though is that because they're not quite at speed yet for building stuff, if you dent one, you are screwed for the part for forever. So
Oh yeah, can't get replacement parts. Well, the thing I was noticing, a headline came out for them a while ago where it was costing them $25,000 every time they sold a truck.
oh, that's good.
I don't even know if they fixed it, but it's like they got the truck. They made a beautiful truck,
Oh,
a beautiful
it's
SUV.
really well built. It is so
It,
comfortable.
it's the best car I've ever driven in my entire life by a long shot.
Mm.
And people were buying them, and their manufacturing process was so, I don't know, or they hadn't ironed out their manufacturing process enough, and every truck they sold was costing $25,000 to make.
Mm.
So the worst thing that could happen for them there was that suddenly everybody came to buy their cars because it would have
Everybody starts buying them
totally.
and they go under, right? Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that'd be bad. So cool.
So it's
Well,
an example of success. You're not don't know how to handle the success if it comes. So let's see what ChatGPT says. We've asked ChatGPT for help with another Earl and the Idiot episode. Have you been feeding ChatGPT our episodes yet or no?
no, not yet. I've been lazy.
Okay. So we're gonna get it's gonna get the voice down, and then we're not gonna be needing
Eventually.
it. Yeah. Sometimes businesses do so well, the business owner gets into overwhelm and doesn't know where to focus. What are three things to do when the business is going so well you don't know what to do with yourself? Two things to avoid, and one red hot tip to really maximize when your business is flying high. ChatGPT says when your business is thriving, it's common to feel overwhelmed and uncertain about where to focus your energy. Here are three actionable steps to help you navigate this exciting yet challenging phase. Number one, prioritize and delegate tasks. As your business grows, the volume of tasks can become unmanageable. It's crucial to identify which responsibilities require your direct attention and which can be delegated. Start by listing all your activities and categorizing them based on your strengths and areas where others may excel. Delegating tasks not only frees up your time, but also empowers your team and leverages their expertise. As entrepreneur, gives us a quote. As entrepreneur Janine Ellis advises, surround yourself with great people. Oh, is that we need one specific person to say that? I'm pretty sure everyone says that.
So maybe the first one or maybe the most recognized one. But
Oh, here's my successful businessman, by the way.
oh, there
I
you
guess
go. That's the
I
background.
got
Giant
I keep
pile of
forgetting to
money.
add into what's that?
Giant pile of money.
Never mind. I keep forgetting to add into the prompt to put the main character off to one side so I can have my
Oh
head
yeah.
back. Now it just looks like I'm podcasting from heaven.
Clouds. There you go. That's cool though, whatever. So so yeah, prioritize and delegate tasks. Agreed. Agreed. But I disagree with one of the pieces. So it says here, start by listing all the activities, categorizing based on your strengths and areas where others may excel. And in the beginning, if you've never delegated before, right? So this is more for the beginners, more for the startups, more for the people who haven't reached the if you've never led a department of 30 people, this is a bit of a different thing, right? So as you start to learn how to delegate and how to manage and how to learn how to duplicate yourself and get out of your own damn way, it's actually better to delegate the stuff you already know, right? Because you know how to manage it, right? You know if it goes sideways, you know exactly how to manage that person. Whereas if you're trying to delegate stuff that you don't really know how to do off the bat, your managerial skills, if you don't have any, are zero, right? So you have no hope in hell of being able to pull that off. So it's actually better to delegate stuff you already know, such that you don't have to worry about the process behind the process. You're just working on your managerial skills, right? Because you can only do one thing at a time, really. Like there's no such thing as multitasking. It's just monotasking and switching really fast till your brain goes, ow, right? And so one of the things that people make mistakes on is they try to delegate a bunch of stuff that they have no idea whether it's their ass or their elbow, right? And so they don't know what they're doing. So they don't know how to lead that person. And then they don't know how to lead, period, because they never had any experience, right? And so one of those big mistakes is, delegate the stuff you already know and then get it off your plate, right? As the business owner, I mean, you're the chief everything officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the you're chief cook and bottle washer and janitor at the same time. So because you're in that position, you need to learn the skill of managing, prioritizing and delegating stuff. What better to delegate than stuff you already know so that you can push those off of your plate, right? And then as you get to have more time, now you can start looking at stuff you don't know how to do, and hiring that out because it's a slightly higher, grade of mountain to climb than it is, practicing managerial skills with stuff you already know. So there you go. So I agree with it, but there's a slight nuance of get stuff off your plate that you already know how to do, but automate, hire, outsource, get it off of your plate. But now you're practicing managing skills versus doing everything skills.
Fair enough. Um,
I learned that the hard way.
is Yeah.
So
Um, is there like, let's say you're running a, either one person operation or a very small operation, and
mm,
suddenly you get all this success. Is that like, it seems like, okay, well now you want to hire a bunch of people to take some of the burden, but are you also sort of at the same, like, is it a good time to do that, or are you kind of at the same time swamped?
you need to hire, right? You need to delegate, but like I said, you need to delegate stuff right? So I've screwed this up. Actually, this was one of my topics for fuck up nights,
Hmm.
right? So I launched an SEO company. We had extreme success, and everything blew up. We grew really fast, and I'm trying to hire like a crazy person. And I hired a bunch of full timers, and I put them all in one seat, and this is what you got to do. Da, 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 da. And then what happened was that the good times ended, right?
Hmm.
And we grew so fast, and we hired too fast, and we had too many people, and then we had to fire everybody because we lost them all again. Because what happened was, we got the projects, we lost the projects because we screwed the pooch on, getting these things in play. And I was trying to get stuff that I didn't know how to do, right?
Hmm.
When I was successful the second time round, it was because I delegated stuff I already knew how to do, right? And then my managerial skills went up. I became a better manager, and now I can hire people to do stuff I have no idea how to do because I have the managerial skill. Like leadership, managing, delegation, those are all separate skills, and if you don't exercise them and learn and grow them, of course you're going to suck because it's day one, right?
But
um
okay, so if you're in a moment of like rapid success, where like, oh,
yes.
the graph's going up like that,
Mhm.
is that a good moment to hire, or should you hold off until things are stable?
When you are going crazy and everything is going nuts and you have a giant pile of money, right? That's the kind of time where like you can record yourself doing tasks and then you can offload that to somebody else to turn it into an SOP,
Hmm.
right?
All right.
So yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that's the time to build those SOPs, right? Um, it's when you're starving and you're dying, that's not the time to build SOPs, right? Because you're freaking out about your next meal. Can you make rent? Can you make payroll? Right. So that's not the time to be building SOPs and stuff, right? Because you need to make sales, right? So it's a weird teetering thing, right? Either we need sales, otherwise we're gonna die, and then we have too many sales now. Crap, we better build some systems so we can survive this, and then it just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and that's how you grow. I mean, it's painful, but that's how it works, right?
Right. Okay. So let's move on to number two here,
All righty.
which I think maybe is kind of what we're talking about. Streamline operations. Success often brings
Good thing I read these things beforehand.
right. Success often brings complexity. Regularly assess your business processes to ensure they remain efficient and scalable.
Mhm.
Simplify workflows, eliminate redundant steps, and consider automating routine tasks. This approach reduces operational friction and allows you to focus on strategic growth. areas. As highlighted in the Financial Times, questioning the necessity of meetings and limiting their length can help maintain focus and productivity. Please do that all the time. I work for myself now, so I don't have meetings. But if you're a business that has meetings, please limit their length and focus on their productivity. Oh my God.
Yeah, no kidding. If the meeting could be an email, please make it an email, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing too, right? And it's that's definitely a huge thing for streamlining operations. Agree wholeheartedly on that one. So simplify workflows, yes, absolutely. But the things you want to simplify are the ones that are at the top of the heap, right? So customer onboarding, that should be smooth, silky smooth, right? Because that's where the customer is on board. That's where they get to know you. That's where this is during your honeymoon phase, right? So it's got to be clean during that onboard on ramp, because if that's shaky, the trust is lost, and now it's like weird getting them onboarded, and yeah, now it's awkward, right? No matter how you scale, they got that first taste, and that first taste was weird, right? So you got to make the honeymoon phase. So really work deeply on your customer onboarding, so that onboard experience is just beautiful. And then if you have bumps in the road as you start to hire, as you start to delegate, as you start to grow, they forgive you because the first experience was great,
Mm-hmm.
right? So everyone's like, oh yeah, let's optimize this and that. And no, get the first person, get the first piece down. I know we talked about this before, but it's product service relationship, and relationship is the highest rung on that ladder, right? It's the most important thing. So building that relationship is super key. Work on the relationship building parts, and you end up ahead.
All right. And so, yeah, so the time to focus on smoothing the operation is when you are achieving success. You want to kind of
Mhm.
you maybe stop scrabbling and try to you're trying to cope all the time when the
Well,
success is
because
maybe.
we talked about the teeter totter, right? It's always like the one side, the other side, the other side, and the other side. And so, yeah, streamlining operations, making stuff better, eliminating redundant steps, blah, 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 automating routine stuff. Yeah, now's the time to do it, because, you're in, yeah, there was a structure. I'll see if I can find the image one of these days, and I'll slap it as a comment underneath this post. But like, there's a structure that talks about urgent and important, right? And if it's urgent but important, you do it because, like, maybe there's a customer on fire or something, you save them, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not urgent but important, those are the hardcore decisions that you make, right? That really shape the shape of the business moving forward. And that you should be spending, as a business owner, more time thinking necessarily, than doing, right? Because if you break it down into 3 steps, in level 1, you are the business, right? If you stop, the business dies. So you're selling your tools, right? You're selling your ability, you're selling your professional services, you're selling whatever, right? And then level 2 is you hire people, like we were talking about, like this is where you outsource and grow and and you sell their tools, right? And their ability to do the job. And then level 3, what we're talking about, where that super optimal space is you sell your system, right? And that's where that real actual growth and scale happens at the same time, right?
Nice.
There you
All
go.
right, let's go on to the next one here. Number 3. I was momentarily distracted by the fact I see you've got your Lego bamboo in the background. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to say it's Lego, right? Your real bamboo in the background there.
No, it's totally Lego. I posted on the internet that it was Lego, and I actually even had the build of it. So
Nice. It looks, yeah, like you wouldn't even know it was Lego at this distance.
right. But this way I can't kill it. So
Yeah, and you can rebuild it in different shapes.
yeah,
And then you can keep buying more, like buy another set, and then add it on top. It looks like it
make bigger
grows.
Lego. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah, number 3, maintain work-life balance. Take the time to build Lego bamboo in between all the delivering deliverables.
Some people
Rapid
smell
business.
roses. We build Lego bamboo. Whatever.
Yeah. Rapid business growth can blur the boundaries between work and personal life, leading to burnout. It is essential to set clear boundaries and prioritize self-care. Engage in activities that rejuvenate you, such as spending time with family, exercising, or pursuing hobbies. Balanced lifestyle enhances decision making and sustains long-term success. As discussed in the Financial Times, so it's taking the same source for its quotes. With a Working It podcast, recognizing and responding to signs of stress is crucial to maintaining well-being. I'm going to jump in here and say, I actually just got a gym membership.
Nice. That's
I was
awesome.
I was avoiding getting a gym membership because I always assumed it was like crazy, stupid expensive. Like I thought it was like 60, $100 a month or something like that. Because we had a membership to the community center. It was $60 a month and it
Mhm.
sucked. So I assumed like, oh, the gym membership with all the nice equipment, it's going to be like $100 a month. And I'm like, I'll just work out at home. And then my friend told me like it's like $15 a month. I beg your pardon? Planet Fitness. There you go. Planet Fitness is not a sponsor, but maybe they will be. And we went for the one better. We went for the $30 membership, and you get the massage chairs and the hydrotherapy beds. You ever tried one of
Mm.
these?
Oh, hydrotherapy is fantastic. Is the one where they put that sheet over you and the water just hits you and it feels cool?
Yeah. Well, you're laying down on a sheet and it's coming up from underneath,
Oh,
and
okay.
it just feels like this is really intense massage. It's like I immediately cranked it all the way up to 10, and I'm like, why does it have any other settings than 10? Just like blast it.
I do the same with the hydrotherapy beds. I like those things. Those are great.
Yeah. Maybe if you got like a bruise or something. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, just
Well, I have bruised ribs right
oh,
now.
there you
So
go.
I went there and it turned it up to 10 and I was like in absolute pain. Maybe not so much. Maybe it turned it down to like 7 or something because it's not,
Okay.
I don't want like full bore, but no, if I'm in tip top shape and my muscles are sore, yeah, man, crank it to 11.
Nice. Yeah. It's, 11 is one more than 10. Um, okay. Yeah. Work-life balance. Sorry to interrupt, but that
No,
was
no,
me.
that was a good
My
segue,
self-care.
right? Joining the gym is important for self-care,
Mm.
right? So maintaining work-life balance is super important. The funny thing is you won't give a crap until you're older, right? In my 20s, there was no work-life balance. It was just work until I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
It was
And the funny
work-work
thing is
balance.
you pay for that later. You pay for that later, right? Because when you're super young and you have infinite energy and you can just keep going, right? You can pull the all-nighters, you can do like, 16, 20-hour days and it's fine, quote unquote fine for now. Eventually you will hit that burnout, right? And
Mhm.
so it took me forever to hit burnout. I didn't burn out until, like 10, 15 years into the business, just going full bore, not realizing that, hey, you age after a while, right? So yeah, like one of my mentors, he was laughing at me saying, oh, you finally hit what, 35, 40, something like that, and now you have to do energy management. I'm like, what the hell is energy management, right? Like,
Mm.
doesn't this stay infinite forever? No shit, right? And so yeah, that work-life balance is important, but here's the funny thing: there actually is no such thing as work-life balance.
Mhm.
There is no such
Explain.
thing, because you're going to sway from one end to the other end. It's going to be feast, famine, back and forth and back and forth. And so, what you're trying to do, because there's no such thing as time management, you can't manage time, right?
Mm.
It's priority management, right? We all have the same number of hours in the day. How come there's billionaires and people who don't have $1 billion? It's priority management, right? Because we all have the same amount of hours. So, and then work life balance, it's not necessarily work life balance, it's a work life integration,
Mm.
right? And so back in the day, when my wife and I were running around doing stuff, like if I had to go to some conference or whatever, I brought her with me, right? And then I would book an extra couple of days to actually have a proper vacation in the place we went to, because I already paid for the plane ticket anyways. Might as well hang out in wherever the heck we are, Vegas or something. A couple more days, enjoy it, and then you get that work life integration, right? So everybody wins. So she's happy, I'm happy, we're happy together, we're happy separately because I'm doing the work and she gets to explore Vegas. There's a bunch of cool things that you can do in that work life integration portion, right? So you're already there, you might as well take a couple days, get that integration in, right? And stop looking necessarily for balance, because it's always going to be that teeter totter swing, right? And so
Mm.
with that teeter totter, it's you don't have a hard line in the sand where it's like, okay, I'm at work, or no, I'm at home, because there's going to be feast and famine. Everything moves in waves. Everything moves in those patterns, right? So it's trying to get to kind of the middle of the pattern. It's not exactly balanced, but just take the time to figure out that integration so that you can do both. You can have your cake and eat it too, right? Nothing wrong with that. So,
Well, that sounds good.
alrighty,
I think we're charge ahead here.
sounds good to
Checking
me.
the time. I think we're doing okay. All right. So two pitfalls to avoid. Yeah. successful times. Micromanagement. As your team
Mm.
grows, resist the urge to control every detail. Micromanagement can stifle creativity and hinder efficiency. Trust your team to handle their responsibilities, provide guidance and support as needed. This fosters a culture of accountability and innovation. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a boss once who would just sort of stop by and go, it was a sales job, and be like, everything okay? I'd be like, yep. I'm like, all right, and walk away. Or anything in your road? Actually, yeah, blah blah blah. He's like, okay, I'll get rid of that for you, and goes
Nice.
and talks to the other department that's keeping me from doing my job. It was
Nice.
great.
That's
Yeah.
that's a good thing to do. So there's micromanagement, but then there's also another piece. Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
Authority and give me a second here. Authority and responsibility. Responsive. Okay, so there's three parts to it, right? In managing, correctly. And this is something my mentor taught me, and it was you have to have accountability, you have to have responsibility, and you have to have authority. Because if you have the responsibility but not the authority, you're never going to get anything done.
Yeah.
Right. So this is one guy. I'm not gonna name names. He appointed a CEO. Okay. He appointed a
Okay.
CEO, but he didn't give the CEO access to the finances.
Hmm.
And it's like, wait, so you appointed a CEO, you didn't give him access to the finances. How the hell is he supposed to make the right decision? Right? If so you're driving, but you can't look out the windshield. Great. How the hell am I supposed to get from point A to point B? Oh, well, you got your sensors that you can look at. Well, that's good. I might not kill people, but I'm totally gonna hit that tree, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, accountability, responsibility, authority. Those three things are absolute key to making things actually work. And if you're sitting there micromanaging people, you're not giving them authority, right? You're giving them accountability. You're sitting there staring over their freaking shoulder, but and you're sure because I'll give them responsibility, but you're not giving them authority. Without that authority, they don't ever get the chance to make the decisions themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's like imagine you have a child and you walk them across the street every single day till they're 35. Can they walk the street themselves? No, they're freaking terrible. They're sitting there looking for your hand. That's a bad idea. Let your kid learn how to cross the street themselves safely. But you're watching them. If there's a truck coming, you grab them and you run. But they need all those things. So accountability, responsibility, authority. If you don't have those three things, yeah, and then you're micromanaging the poor bastard, you'll never get anything. It actually takes longer. The more employees you have, the more micromanagement you do. He's like, oh man, I'm spending 16 hours working every day. Why are you staring over the shoulder? Right?
Yeah,
Didn't you
because
hire
it's like
them?
you have your job and their job to do.
Well, yeah, right.
Hmm.
Where it's supposed to be the other way around, right? When you hire people, what you're looking for is for them to get the job 80% of the way there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for the vast majority of things, 80% is good enough, right? There's some things where, like, neurosurgeon, where maybe we need 100,
Yeah.
right? So I'd like to use my left hand once in a while. And so, but 80% for the most part is all the way there. And then you can train them the other 20% of the way, right? But you have to let them get there. And if you never let them screw up, they never learn.
It's
So,
fair enough. It's like you got to let your toddler fall over or whatever. You can't be there catching them every time. They got to figure out how to screw up.
well, because I remember teaching my
Learn the
kids how to
lessons.
walk. I remember teaching my kids how to walk. You have to let them fall over once in a while, right? If you hold them up all the time, they're never going to learn. So yeah, don't micromanage your kid. Don't micromanage your freaking employees.
I probably shouldn't use analogies of how to raise kids when I don't actually have kids myself. That could that could open me up to a lot of criticism.
I have kids. Everything you said so far is good, right? Like, yeah,
Okay.
let the kid fall over once in a while. It's not like they're that far from the ground, right?
Yeah, that's why they're all squishy at that age, right?
There you go. It's lower center of gravity plus the baby fat makes it squishy. So there you go. They're padded. It's fine.
All right, the number two thing to avoid when hitting successful times, neglecting core values. This is interesting. In the
Mm-mm.
pursuit of expansion, it's easy to lose sight of the principles that define your business. Ensure that growth strategies align with your core values and mission. This alignment maintains brand integrity and customer trust. Is this like not getting spoiled by success, not becoming
Not getting
corrupt or too
greedy.
big for your britches, or what?
Yeah, yeah. like absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? So,
Mm.
giant infinite piles of money make you think that your head gets big. And eventually, like I'm guilty of this, right? Oh, there's a
Mm.
problem. Oh, take the money gun and shoot it, right? And so, neglecting core values is an important thing. I used to think that, mission, vision, value for corporations was a load of crap. Like, why the hell are we, wow, it's actually doing a thumbs down when I didn't even make a thumbs down position. That's cool.
Mm.
That's weird, but all
Well,
right,
you were you
cool.
were you were crossing your hands like this, I think. But
Yeah, I was doing this and it made a thumbs down, but I don't know, whatever. But I used to think that the mission, vision, value was a lot of crap, right? But the thing is, though, you realize like everyone spends like 8 hour ish days at work or whatever, so you spend just as much time at work as you do at home. Actually, you spend more, right? Because there's commute time, and so when you're looking at the core values, if you're not true to the core values, you start to lose yourself, right? And if you start to lose yourself, you lose the leadership. If you lose the leadership, the company is dead. It's going to fall over, right? Because those things they matter over time, right? And so, if I was telling this to my 20-year-old self, I wouldn't believe me, right? Until you start to show, look, when you see the cracks in the facade because the core values have been, disregarded and cast aside, right?
mm,
Like, is this on mission? Is this on point? Or are we just doing and making money for the sake of making money? Right? You're no longer helping people. You're selling drugs. Cool. Right. But yeah, but we made more money. Is that part of the core value? No. Well, then, yeah. I mean, everything starts to fall apart. So you got to stick to the core values for the longevity and stick power. Right. Everybody's so obsessed with customer acquisition costs and how do we get people in the door and lead generation and blah 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 blah. But no one talks about closing the back door. Right. You can have all the customers in the world, but to make money, you actually have to keep them. Right.
yeah, and it's cheaper to keep them too. Treat them well.
Well, one of the things we talk about in business engine optimization is, more transactions, right? Getting them to
Mhm.
buy again. If you piss them off, they're not going to buy again. If they don't buy again, you have to go get new customers. If you get new customers, that's more expensive. End of discussion, right? So it's just happy to keep. It's easier to keep people happy.
Mm. As long as you're not selling them the truck that cost you $25,000.
Yeah, exactly. No kidding. So that's
All right.
that's an extreme example of the cookie example I used to give for the bakery thing, right? Every time they sold a cookie, they lost 17 cents. I'm like, guys, increase it by a quarter. It's fine. Right?
Yes, make some money. Well, we seem to be actually moving through this pretty quick. We didn't need to hurry. What is a red hot tip? Of course, red hot tip from AI is going to be AI, right? Red hot tip.
That's actually hilarious. It tried to,
Yeah,
hey, please hire me.
you're right.
It slapped its resume
Leverage
down.
leverage AI for strategic decision making. I tried doing this. Let's see what it says. Artificial intelligence (brackets AI) can be a game changer for businesses experiencing rapid growth. Utilize AI tools to analyze market trends, customer behavior, and operational data. This
Hmm.
data-driven approach enables informed decision-making and identifies opportunities for innovation and efficiency. As discussed in the Artificial Intelligence podcast, but what is that? Learning how to think in AI and integrating it into your business processes can provide a significant competitive advantage.
There you
I
go.
mean, yeah, like it's a weird one because I don't feel like this is success specific. It's not something you need to do when you're successful. It's just something you need to do. You know what I
Not necessarily, because
mean?
when you're successful, there's a thing called overwhelm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
as you reach into overwhelm, that's just like your cognitive ability, your ability to make decisions starts to falter because you're under duress, right? Your brain starts to get a little tired. You got a million decisions to make. Susie called in sick, and now we have to find a replacement. Da, 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 da. There's a billion little things that you have to figure out, right? And so leveraging AI for strategic decision making while under duress, right,
Mm.
is a way to lift it off your shoulders, right? And so I get it, AI is promoting AI, hooray. But, you know, sometimes you need to lean on other stuff while you're under fire. Because if you've got too many decisions to make, sometimes, being able to bounce the ideas off of something else helps the echo chamber, right? If you're a business of one, right, and you don't necessarily have a business confidant to talk to and say, hey, this is what's going on, da, da, da. If you don't have a mentor to talk to, AI is better than nothing. So there you go. So yeah, but
Yeah,
use it for prioritization, not like Don't make it write all your articles for you from scratch, from zero. It sounds like AI, right? Like you use it intelligently. Have the AI do the research, figure out what are people looking for, and then have it write the outline for you, and then you write the article, right? So that's intelligent use of AI for strategic decision making. Make a list of shit that's in your head. Hey, here's all the crap I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
Using this model, whichever model you want to follow, or have it suggest you a model. What do you think I should do first? And if can you label these in priority and tell me why you said this order? And then whether you agree with it or not, at least you've got a devil's advocate looking over your shoulder going, well, here's one way to do it. And then you can, depends on how you like to think. Are you a blank slate kind of guy, or are you a show me what I don't want and I'll poke out what I don't want? Right. I know that drives you crazy as a web developer, but, but yeah, leveraging AI for decision making, it's good at any time, but it's also really good during times of high stress. And if you're super successful and you have a million projects and you have no idea what the hell to go first, man, here's your sparring partner from a mental perspective.
We all want Jarvis, right? That's what we want in our.
Oh, absolutely, freaking hell! I mean, doesn't everyone want to be Tony Stark? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and the thing I was trying to sort of do this with AI, but it wasn't really putting out what I wanted to put out. I wanted to be like, Dan, you forgot about the so and so. You're always doing, like, I wanted it to like know me better than I know myself and point out my failings and make sure I pay attention to I'm not paying attention to. But I guess you have to work with it for a while for it to figure out.
Oh, there are AIs that do that now.
Hmm.
I get the ads on my freaking Facebook all the time. It's like, so there's AIs that will actually assess your schedule, and what it does is it builds a schedule for you based on what it thinks you're going to be best at in terms of like, it depends, right? It's like some people are morning people, some people are night owls, right? Depends on when your energy is high, depends on when your efficiency is high, depends on when your creativity is high. Those are all different things, right? And so, I'm hyper creative at night, but if you want me to get stuff done, give it to me in the morning because I get stuff done, right? So yeah, so creativity, productivity are different things, and there's different times and different places by which to make those things happen. So absolutely. Alrighty, is it that time?
No, hang on. I was going to say I found it surprisingly hard to just have my AI run a to-do list. I found I just was basically just writing my to-do list, like, and I could just use the to-do list. I was like trying to have it manage a to-do list for me, and I would have to rewrite it every time instead of being in one central place. There was no ability to tick off completed tasks. I looked up what AI programs could do that for me, and I even paid for one for a month, and it like didn't actually have that function. It just seems like a super easy function that should exist. Am I missing it, or should I
it exists
create it?
in plain old Chat GPT.
But
right?
it's ChatGPT spits out a list. When I'm finished a task, I have to say I finished this task, and it's just like it's easier to tick it off on a check mark, and it doesn't have that capacity.
I see what you mean. Yeah. So there's ways it gets a little complicated, but you can use like make.com to then have GPT talk to your calendar. As you check off things and do stuff, it actually takes it off. So there's fancy ways to do that. Absolutely, it does work. It's just that you have to kind of have a bit of a kind of a logic coding background to pull it off. But there are. Sorry.
It seems like that should be a fairly obvious function of AI.
Yes,
I guess it will be.
Yes and no. And there's other ones that recombobulate your schedule for you, and you just say whether you did it or not, right? Yeah. And so it'll assign you stuff, and you go, yeah, I totally did that, or nope, I completely pooped the bed on that one. And then it'll actually just find out when you do stuff. And I think it yells at you if you don't, if it tries at night and it tries in the morning and it tries in the night and it tries in the morning and you still don't get it done, it starts to get mad at you. So it's like, yo, do you really want to do this or not? Right, get it off the list or stop making me reassign it. Right.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need AI to get sassy with me and smack me around a bit. You know what I mean?
Sassy.ai. There you go. There's your idea.
Yeah, there you go. Sassy
unicorn right there.
SASAI or something. Sassy. Oh, they put the Sassy AI.
Nice. Sassy.
There you go. TM. That's TM. Everybody watching, you all signed a non-disclosure. All right, let's do this thing.
All right, here we go.
Hack of the week.
Hack of the week. there's a weird book called Thinking Fast, Thinking Slow. And it's counterintuitive. Like when your business is booming, now's the time to think slow, right?
Okay.
So if you had all the time in the world, what part of your business would you patch up, right?
Hmm.
If you had all the time in the world. And the reason why I bring this now is because while you're in starvation or famine mode, there's no way in hell you're ever going to work on this stuff. Okay. Because you're too busy panicking. Are we going to make payroll? Are we going to make rent? Are we going to make the bills? You rarely think of this sort of thing and you never get around to it. And your business never actually hardens, gets stronger, and or grows, right? Because you're always too busy. It's like, eh, make money, hand, mouth, eat. Oh my God, repeat, right? And so now's the time to think slow. Now's the time to think about, hey, if I could fix this one thing that pisses me off, now it's time to do this. Because when you're in crazy growth mode, you have the capital to actually do it, right?
Hmm.
So you've suffered long enough. Once in a while, I know I made fun of myself earlier for using the money gun. Yo, man, your money gun's full of bullets. Shoot a couple, right? Now,
Hmm.
at that point, yeah, you have the capital to actually get this done, and time to do it, right? I know you're busy, but because you have hired people, you actually free yourself up a little more, which I know sounds crazy, but that's just the way it is. And then each time you bolster the foundation, that's where you fall to. You don't rise to the level of your goal, you fall to the level of your systems, right? And this is where those systems come into place. And this is where you build them because now you have the money, right? And every time you fall, you're raising the floor up. So when you fall less and less and less. And you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from wisdom. But if you put the effort to build in the structure, you don't fall as far, right? And that's it. Going back to the toddler exercise, right?
Hmm.
Um, when the kid figures out where the coffee table is, all of a sudden they're holding the coffee table, walking around the coffee table, and they don't fall over as quickly, right? Hey, look, we found the coffee table. Excellent. So, I guess my advice would be go, raise the level of your coffee table so that you don't fall as far.
Earl's new book, Raise Your Coffee Table.
There you go. TM, non-disclosure.
Yeah. Let's tell you what, take this episode down. Don't broadcast it. We've got too many good
Okay.
ideas in here.
It's kind of late that it is streaming live as we speak. So
No. All right. Well, here we are. 5 minutes. Are we all good? We wrapping up?
yeah, I think that was pretty good. I like those ones. Yeah, talking through all those bits and bobs. I mean, it was interesting seeing what AI says in a good scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you one bit of like martial art tidbit, right? So one of the other styles I practice, because I know you train like Filipino martial arts with me, but one of the other styles I practice is Wing Chun.
Train is a strong word, but yes,
well, once,
dabble.
yeah, you're getting better. And so, but in Wing Chun, the funny thing is the beginner forms are learning how to win, and the beginner forms are learning how to win. Actually, the last session we had with fighting, the stick fighting thing, it was a more advanced structure, right? And the later forms in Wing Chun and the later form that we learned last week is actually learning how to lose,
Hmm.
right? And learning how to lose is a more advanced piece. Learning how to win is really easy because winning is actually easier than losing, right? Losing is like, well, how do you regain your footwork? How do you regain your balance? How do you regain it when you're being completely screwed, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in the session we had last week, it was charging forward into a block as opposed to stepping backward into a block, which is the more natural reaction. Like if someone swings at you, you freak out, you step back, you block. Cool. That's
Right.
that's human nature, right? Depending on how good you are, either your block is or you actually block on purpose, right? So there's a differential between those two things. What we were doing last week was aggressively blocking, which was completely awkward and weird because you run into the block and that's like, hey, this is backwards, this feels wrong, but it works. Right? So
Yeah.
the more advanced stuff is running into the danger as a way of running away. And so there you go. So yeah, that was a really cool premise. Thank you for the idea, Dan.
I do what I can. So thank you, Earl, for the tidbits of wisdom. Thanks AI for doing the heavy lifting, and thank you at watching at home or on the bus. Oh, there you go. Oh, thumbs up.
Yeah, the sounds worked that
Uh,
time. I don't know how to turn that off. It drives you crazy.
I wish I had it. I would have so much fun with that. Hello. Yeah, all right. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Earl and the Idiot.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks, Dan. Here we go.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.